Right, TO. Okay, cool. So this video today, okay, is just more about intermittent fasting, and it's like anything with nutrition, okay, we just need to look at calories and reducing them and bits and bobs. But this is a really good tool, okay. It's not like a fad or anything. It's just a really good way for people to get their nutrition sorted out. And I've done intermittent fasting quite a bit, and I enjoy it, and I do it periodically, and it's cool, okay. So it's kind of more for people that don't want to count their calories with MyFitnessPal and all those sorts of things. So this is going to be a bit different for you. All right. So we still have to remember, so we still have to remember that it is calories in, calories out. There's no way around, losing weight or gaining weight. You just got to maintain your calories, because if you don't, then ultimately you're not going to be able to lose weight or gain weight. And this is just a really good illustration. Some people I get have seen this before, but I just want to go over it again. Okay, so if you take 2,000 calories in, and you burn off 2,500 calories, whatever it is, you're going to lose weight. To maintain your weight, you take in what you burn, and it's the same. And if you want to be in a calorie surplus, that's how you actually gain weight. So, and a lot of people that struggle to lose weight are always in this bottom kind of tier, and it's because they just don't understand how many calories they eat. And once you understand what it is, it becomes way easier. So obviously MyFitnessPal, I believe, is the best way to do it, but I do understand that for some people it's really hard to track, and they don't weigh things all the time, and it just doesn't get right. So this is just another tool in the toolbox for you. So intermittent fasting, there's some pros and cons to it for sure. One of the main pros about it is that it's something called cognitive restraint. And cognitive restraint just means it gives you restraint within your mind to see it. It's like a budget. If you've got a bank budget, you're able to sort of like know how much you spend, and I'm not going to overspend this month. I overspent last month, and it gives you some kind of restraint purpose. So it gives you a ceiling to hit, and you've got some guidelines. It creates a lot of structure. So when you're doing the one I'm going to talk about today, is the 16-8 model, where you fast for 16 hours and you eat in an 8-hour window. It gives you time where you can eat your meal, so it's an 8-hour window. Then it gives you a way to reduce calories, because by not eating breakfast or morning snack, you reduce your calories. You can do this for long periods of time, and you can do it intermittently as well, not every day. So it means that you could pick a Monday, Wednesday, Friday for fasting. Bear with me a sec. And you can get by in that way as well. So there are some cons though. So with intermittent fasting, you can get really hungry in the morning. And when hey guys, I think somebody's got their speakers on. So if you just mute them for a sec, that'd be awesome. A bit of feedback going on. Cool. Anyway, so some of the cons about intermittent fasting are you can get really hungry in the morning, and it's quite uncomfortable. But if you're drinking lots of fluids and water and stuff like that, you can kind of get over that. What it can also do as well is that during your eating window, depending on how you are, you can really overeat. So if your hunger gets too high, it gets to the point where you're starving, and then you just smash down whatever, and your hunger hormones and hunger signals not really working very well, and you can way overeat, which means you can actually put weight on when you're intermittent fasting as well. It can be a little bit unsociable. So if you're going to have a coffee morning with your mates and stuff, or whatever that is, or or go for it in an evening, it means that your eating window finishes at 7 o'clock, and you can't eat anything after 7 o'clock, or drink any calories anyway, or whatever else, and you come unsociable. That one is wrong. Should be the next one. It may not be good for building muscle. So with muscle, a lot of people over the age of 40, their muscle declines. It just does. And when you're resistance training, which is obviously what we do here, you need to be in a position where your body's primed to build muscle and at least maintain your muscle, even if you're not going to build loads of it. And obviously the guidelines around eating 4 to 5 times per day, equally spread out. Studies have shown time and time again that is the best way to create and maintain new muscle. So when you're fasting, people will tell you, if you read some of the things on Facebook and everything else, they'll tell you that it's really good for muscle building. And it's just it's ridiculous because you can't build muscle with no food. Do you mean? I always say this before. You look to the extremes of any spectrum, and that's usually where you see those things happening. And if you look at a third world country, there's not people walking around jacked out of their brains with muscles because they're not eating anything. They're starving and they're skinny, and they're equally not obese either. So it's not great for muscle building either. Okay. It can cause a bit of lack of energy. So in the morning, when when you're not eating for a long time, you can have a lack of energy, a bit of a brain fog, and it's not too fun. And the cons are, if you're going to do it, the better time is to work out within your feeding window. And what all that means is that, because of the muscle building aspects and muscle maintenance, is that you want to be working out fed, because then your muscle, and you're using energy from the food that you've eaten, as opposed to just being in a catabolic state, which is what fasting does, and you're using your muscle for energy. You don't want to be doing that. Okay, so there are pros and cons. They're not drastically going to affect anything, but they're just the ones that are there. Okay, so what does it look like? Well, I'm going to talk about the fasting based on a 16-8 model, okay, because it's usually the easier one for people to do. So you fast for 16 hours, 8 of those are going to be sleeping, and then you eat for 8 hours. So you can jiggle this around as well. There's nothing magic about this at all. So you could decide to fast from 8 p.m. at night to 12 p.m. the next day, which means you don't have your breakfast and your snack, and you eat your first meals at lunch. Or you could, if you want to eat a bit earlier in the morning, you can fast from 7 p.m. to 11 a.m. That's cool, which then means that you eat from 12 till 8 or 11 till 7. When I was doing it, it was the 11 till 7 was a better one for me, because I go to bed pretty early anyway, and I'd like to eat something in the morning. I used to find that lag till midday really hard, certainly because as most of you know, I go to the gym at about 5 o'clock in the morning, so it's a long time to wait for lunch once you train that early. But ultimately, with this whole schedule, you can actually figure out yourself. You can do whatever you want to do with it. It doesn't really matter. The most important thing is that you have a 16-hour fast and an 8-hour feeding window. Okay. So then I'm going to go into it. Like I say, this presentation is not going to be too long. It's not really too much to go over with it, but we go through it anyway. So this is how you could do it. You could go, okay, well, from Monday to Friday, it's convenient for me to fast till 12 o'clock, let's say. And I'm not going to have breakfast. I'm not going to have a morning snack. But what I'm going to do is distribute my calories. So what I've done is, and I know we're coming away from calories, I just want to highlight how it reduces calories to help you lose weight. Okay. So let's just say, what's that, 12? Let's say you're on a 1,500 calorie diet, so a random number, okay? This is how you distribute your calories through the day. So you might go, I'm going to skip breakfast, skip my morning snack, and I'm going to have 600 calories for lunch, which is quite big, 300 calorie snack, 600 calories for dinner. So when I did this before, I actually really liked it because I was able to eat a bit more and feel more satisfied during my fast. Because when I did this, I was trying to get a 6-pack. That was my goal was. And I found that because I had to reduce my calories to so little per day to get there, I just found that eating sparingly through the day, I was always like semi-hungry. But when I did this, I found that I was really satisfied in the afternoon, and that really worked for me. And it was really good psychologically because I wasn't tempted to snack outside because I knew I was going to get some good meals in. So when you look at this, okay, the 1,500 calorie diet would be a weight loss diet for somebody, let's just say he's on 2,000 calories per day. So all it means is that they cut out 500 calories from their morning snack, their breakfast, and their afternoon snack, and they're just eating this much food in this window. So, if you think about it, if let's just say you were eating a 400 calorie breakfast, a muffin for 300 calories, and your lunch and your snack and dinner, and then your glass of wine and snacks at night, these 3 opportunities here are quite a lot of calories. And by not eating in these red zones, you've reduced your calories. That's all intermittent fasting does. All right. So then you could say that, so this one you could go, right, okay, well, I got Monday to Friday, I'm going to fast. And on the weekend, I'm going to distribute these calories over the course of the day, which means that you can then go for breakfast, you can have a snack, you can have your lunch. They just become smaller meals. That's all that happens with that one, okay? So whoever's got it on, see if I can mute that. Oh dear. Who is it? some feedback going on. Anyway, can't do it. Right. So then you could, okay, well, I'm going to do the full intermittent fasting, and you're going to go every single day of the week. You're going to fast, and you're going to cut out your breakfast and your snack every single day, and your afternoon or evening snack as well. And you save yourself a huge amount of calories by doing that. And again, you know, you put yourself in a calorie deficit. And what happens is you could probably save yourself, I don't know, maybe 800 calories per day by doing this. And again, then you're losing weight straight away. And what also happens is, well, the only other issue with that is that sometimes that if you lose weight too fast, then obviously your hunger hormones get out of whack, and that isn't obviously great for you either. So you kind of need to balance it, and it could, you know, just see what works for you and what doesn't. So then this is one I've used a lot with clients because I find it a lot more manageable. And ultimately with this one, you go, okay, well, all we need to do is create a small calorie deficit. You don't need to create 1,000 calorie deficit per day, 7 days a week. That's too much, too hard, too unsustainable. But what you can do with intermittent fasting, you can make this a really useful tool. And you can say for a couple of days a week, I'm going to cut out my breakfast, my snack, and my afternoon snack. And that might save you 400 or 500 calories per day, 3 times a week. So that is 1,200 calories you've saved yourself over 3 days per week, which is actually a lot. That's like nearly a day's worth of eating. So that is all you need to do then to be in a calorie deficit, providing that all the other meals around it are capped and that your calories are kind of equated for. So this is a really good way. I've done this with lots of clients and it works really, really well. And what it also does as well, that if you're someone that likes to eat breakfast and snacks and stuff as well, it's not too daunting. And you're not going to be starving every single day. You actually get to eat breakfast like 4 or 5 times a week. And that works for you as well. So ultimately what it means is that you can take the flexibility approach to this and make it fit into your own lifestyle. And I think it works pretty well for some people because it gives you some restraint. And obviously, you know, if you've only got this window, your lunch, snack, and dinner to eat, then obviously, you know, you've just got a structure. And a lot of us just need structure. Like I always talk about planning, I always talk about putting this stuff in your diary. And intermittent fasting is a good way to provide that structure for you. All right. So obviously I talked about calories, but ultimately, what if you don't want to count calories and you just want to, you know, just eat in those windows? Well, that's cool. You can absolutely do that. But, you know, if you can't track calories, then do it this way instead. And some of you have got these eating guides, some of you haven't. And if you want one, just let me know and I can absolutely do one for you. But ultimately, then it becomes like those meals that we talk about back here kind of need to be healthy meals. Okay, this eating window isn't an opportunity for you to just eat whatever you want, whatever junk food you want. You still need to eat healthy as well. And if you know, if you're not eating healthy, eating McDonald's, you can really still overeat in these windows to be way outside your calorie budget. So what you do then, you create yourself a healthy meal on those occasions. And this is how you do it. I talk about getting protein in your diet, talk about vegetables, carbs, and fats. And with the eating guide that we do for a lot of you guys as well, you know, we structure out exactly how many you need. So if you do need one, let me know and I can do it. But ultimately, this isn't rocket science either. You just create a plate and you've got your hand, you've got your own digit, and you try it out and you go, okay, for lunch, I'm going to have a palm of protein, a fist of veggies, a cup of carbs, and I'm going to stir fry this up in olive oil. And that's your meal. Then what happens if you find yourself really, really hungry with that meal? You'd add an extra protein in, or add an extra vegetable in, or add an extra carb in, wherever that is for you. But your meals are balanced, they're healthy, and you can kind of adjust it as you go as well. Okay, so that's how you do it. So even if you do the intermittent fasting, it is not magic. That's what I'm trying to say. You can still overeat, but if you eat yourself in a balanced way, it'll be really effective for you guys. Okay. So a lot of you guys, or last nutrition class we had, I had a workbook for you guys, all right? And I'm going to email this out to people that want one, and it's going to keep you kind of on track. But before I go into that, has anybody got any questions about this before I move forward? Because intermittent fasting isn't really that difficult. It's just create structure. So if you've got a question, you can pop it up now. No questions. That's awesome. All right. So the ones that do have this, okay, we're still on about accountability. We still want these nutrition classes to be accountable, make accountability. So if you haven't thought about what your 3 to 5 main health goals are, we need to write them down somewhere. And we need to keep looking at them. I want you to talk about. Sorry, was somebody saying something? No. All right. I want to talk about why they're important to you. Ooh. I would have typed that in a chat box actually, because I can't hear you. Oh, there you go. What's this? Sankara has a vote. No, she hasn't. Does somebody want to type that question in? Because there's a bit of feedback. I'll write it in. Type the question here. All right. Anyway, so we want to talk about why they're important to you with anything. Okay, goals are really important, and it's easy to forget them. And if you don't write them down, and you don't realize why you want to do them, then obviously it's quite easy to forget about them. Certainly when life gets in the way. All right. And that's what I want for you guys. So spend a second doing that, which is good. And then once you've got your overall goals, okay, you've got your main goals. So like, it could be to lose 10 kilos. It could be to, run a half marathon or whatever. Then you're going to break that down into normal goals. Okay. Simple daily goals. So it means that for this one in particular, if you're going to give fasting a crack, you're going to say on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I am going to fast between the hours of 11 and 7. And that's what you do. And then you keep on practicing that goal as you go forward. It could be that you're going to start going for a walk, or it could be that you're going to track your calories, whatever that is for you, it doesn't really matter. But ultimately start getting these weekly goals down, because it's important for you to stay on track and do that. Okay. Cool. Right. So the next one we've got is swole foods. Okay. So like I'm going to tell you about it. I don't mind whether you buy it or not. It makes no difference to me whatsoever, but this is all easy for you. All right. So with the intermittent fasting thing, and I talk about the healthy meals, what we've done is Alex and I have partnered with a company called Swole Foods. And what they do, they deliver these foods to your house, basically. They're healthy meals, they're calorie controlled. You don't have to cook with them. You can easily track them. And they're just an example of what some's on there for you, okay? But ultimately, if you are interested, I'm going to pop a link in the group afterwards, and you get 5% off the meals. That's basically what it comes down to, and they're really good, okay? It does help you if you're busy and you don't want to cook and everything else. Like I say, you don't have to do it. There's no obligation. It's just trying to offer you solutions to help you with your nutrition. And what I find is if you don't have to cook and have to think about things and have to weigh things and have to worry about it, it actually takes a load off, okay, as you're going through. But like I said, I'll put that link in there anyway. And that's pretty much the end of presentation. Intermittent fasting is super easy. It is not a magic thing. It is just about controlling your calories by not eating certain meals throughout the day. All right. And that is the end of that. Has anybody got any questions? Everyone's quiet today. Natalie must have worked you hard.
Gavin, how do you get through that that morning hunger pang?
Okay, so morning hunger pang is like big thing. So for me, black coffee. That was how I used to do it, and lots of water. There's just no other way, and keeping busy as well as the other thing. And if you're working from home like you do, it's actually quite hard. But it takes a bit of practice for sure. But ultimately, lots of fluid. Black coffee does a trick, because coffee is a bit of an appetite suppressant as well. That's how I was doing it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Anything else? Everyone pretty happy? What's the average calorie intake? Okay. Oh well, like so what's the average calorie intake? It's hard to tell. I mean, there's like I can give you a calculator, which is cool, but it's not very accurate. So the way I always talk about this is for you to actually work it out for yourself, because what you find is because your body is different to somebody else, and when you do these calculators, they give you an average of is it the whole population. You know, these averages of people who are roughly the same age as you, the same weight, same height, same activity levels, will give you a number. and often they weigh out. They're either too low or too high. So the average calorie intake, if you wanted to actually figure this out for yourself, is for 1 week, you weigh and measure all of your food of what you eat at what you currently do right now. So don't be super healthy. You know, you're at the moment, this is what you do. This is how you eat every single day. This is how much you exercise. So if you were to weigh and track your food for a week, okay, you measure, like say you weigh today, measure and track for a week, weigh on Sunday again or Saturday, and then whatever happens to your weight. So if it stays the same or roughly stays the same, that means whatever calories you've just tracked right this last week are the calories you need. If you don't want to do that, then you use a calculator and you just go with what the calculator says and you adjust from there. So if the calculator says you need to eat 2,500 calories per day, then you need to eat 2,500 calories a day. But again, if you're not tracking and weighing the meals that you eat, then you've got no way to tell that if you've even eaten 2,500 calories a day, because ultimately, you know, if you 150 gram potato is got more calories than a 200 gram potato, you know. So that's kind of how you work the average calorie goal. But yeah, calculators are the best way to go if you don't want to bother to do it yourself. Anything else? Where can we find recorded Zooms? Good question. Actually, I haven't actually got them on a database anyway. But what I could do actually, what I might do is in the you've all got access to the nutrition blueprint, which is all in your training plan. I might just start putting them in there, so you can jump on them. But usually I just pop them in the group and do it. But yeah, I'll have a look. So I'll do that for you. Anything else? No. Nice. All right, cool. Well, that's it, guys. That's it for me. That's my pills of wisdom for today on intermittent fasting. It's a really good tool. I really enjoy doing it, and I do it occasionally when I just want some structure. So give it a try if you want, and see how you go. But yeah. All right, that's it from me, guys. Have a really good day, and if no other questions, I'll sign off. Cool. See you guys.
Thanks, Kevin. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.